What's going on, guys? Jada Black here. Shout out to everybody tuning in. I want to talk about Kim Kardashian and Wesley Snipes. Y'all know when I usually talk about Kim Kardashian, it's probably something very negative, right? Well, I want to talk about a story that's positive, and it mainly is about Wesley Snipes. Now, Wesley Snipes, this is a story that actually went completely under the radar. Apparently, when Kim Kardashian was 17 years old, she said she went partying in New York at I don't know, she's 17, one of these parties, but anyway, she claims that, she got kind of lost, didn't have no way of getting transportation where she needed to go, and Wesley decided to help her. I believe this might have been in 98. So Wesley's a big deal at that time. And I saw some comments where people saying he knew who she was. She was 17. He didn't know who she was. So he gave her a ride. She said that he gave her some game as well. Spoke to her as if he was her father, right? And it really shows you that Wesley Snipes has been slandered for years. I think that when he had to go to prison over tax issues, and we saw what Jaye, I made a video about what Jaye was insinuating that he was trying to force her into a scene that she didn't want to be in. I made a video on that. I'll actually link that video in the description box just to give y'all context of why I'm making this video. This is more vindication of Wesley Snipes. He's seemingly a good guy. You don't hear bad things said about him. And the only person that has really talked down on his name that we know of who is well known out here is Jaye. So I want to make sure that I drive this point home. When people try to play on your name and disrespect you and say things about you that aren't true, I want to make sure that I'm able to come back and speak about these things. And then how Kim says that to this day, I guess she hasn't met him and thanked him, which is interesting because, maybe he still didn't know. Maybe she's speaking about this story publicly and maybe he doesn't know about this. Well, he knows about it now. I don't know why she wouldn't have went to him and spoke to him about this. Maybe this is a story she wanted to keep to herself. She didn't want to make her friends look bad or make herself look bad in the situation, but I think it's a very wholesome story, but we're going to get into this. Okay, we're going to get into this. Kim Kardashian is recalling the time Wesley Snipes saved her life. She recalled the epic story in the second part of her interview with sister Khloe for her Khloe in Wonderland podcast. At the 21-minute mark in the video, linked above, Kim explained that when she was 17, she traveled to New York with friends and found herself in unfamiliar territory. Now, this is the clip here.
Your Wesley Snipes story.
Oh my God. Okay, so when I was a teenager, I went to New York with my friends.
Like 17.
17.
Mm-hmm.
And they were all like 19, like Sarah Howard, all my friends from like back in the day. They all went to Boston. So they drove up to New York. And I went to New York once before with my dad, but never like on the party scene or anything. So we all are at this club called Life. I remember it like Life. It was like the club, the place to be. So we go to, I just want to say, to start it off with, Wesley Snipes saved my life. I don't, and he doesn't know this story. He has no clue who I was.
No, you don't think he knows?
Chloe,
I don't know. I've never thought of it like that.
I will tell you this. She looks way different now than she was when she was 17. I would probably put a picture of her what she probably looked like when she was around 17, 18-ish, I think. If you look at that picture then and now, she looks nothing alike. She looks absolutely nothing alike. She looks like two different people. And she has for like over 10 years now. Look, way different than she did in like the late 90s, early 2000s, right? Right before that Ray J situation happened. She looked different. When she was Paris Hilton's assistant.
A teenager, we didn't have a show.
It makes sense. Yeah,
no one knew who we were. Like,
that's crazy.
I have been dying to run into him to be like, I have to remind you of this story. You literally saved me.
And I want y'all to understand, Hollywood is not a big place. I mean, LA is a big city. Now that also tells you that Wesley Snipes does not run in the same circles as her. Okay, he does not run in the same circles as her, right? He probably actively avoids being in certain areas, certain circles around certain people in Hollywood, right? And that's why they probably have met up. But I mean, you know, she has the resources. She knows the people that can get in contact with them. Maybe she just has been embarrassed about this story for years.
You're right. He probably doesn't know.
We're at a club, and then everyone's like, oh my gosh, let's go back to like our friend's house for a party. And so my friend, Sarah Howard, she wrote on my hand her dad's address and was like, if we lose each other, this is the address.
Because at this time, there's no cell phones.
No cell phones.
Payphones only.
I don't think I've gotten a cab by myself. I didn't know. I'd never been in New York, by myself. Once with dad when I was 16, but like, that's it. So then she hands me a $20 bill because we were sharing a purse and was like, here's for a cab in case we can't find each other. So at the end of the night, it's like 5 o'clock. We're at this house party, no one to be found, cannot find anyone, don't have my money, realize my $20 is gone. All I have is this address. And I'm like, am I gonna go downstairs and just walk out this building or wherever we were and just find a cab and beg them and hopefully get to Sarah's and like see if she's awake to get more money? Like, how am I gonna do this? So I'm walking out, and I don't know if Wesley Snipes lived in the building or what, but he was there. Like, we were passing each other and I was like, hi, sir, like, I'm so sorry, but like, do you think, I was like, I don't know where you're going. Like, are you going home? Whatever. I'm so sorry to like interrupt your night, but like, do you think you can give me a ride home? It's like early in the morning. So I'm like, do you think you can give me a ride home to this address? And he was like, sure, you know? He's like, but we're gonna have to stop like for breakfast. I think he was leaving and on his way to breakfast, actually. He must have been like an early workout kind of guy and going for I don't know. So I'm just like, go to breakfast? Oh my God, like I just need to get home, but sure, you're my only ride. I was probably terrified.
Right.
So we go to breakfast, but he wasn't giving off like any creepy vibes. He wasn't giving off anything. I ran into him and asked him for a ride.
He probably thought you were a crazy kid.
No, because I wasn't.
No, I know you, but like,
I don't even know
when you're young and you think you look so much older, you probably thought you were like passing for 25. And
totally.
He could tell you're a young kid.
Totally. So then we go to breakfast, and it's just like me and him. And like, I remember we ordered like eggs and pancakes, and I was just like sitting there like, all right, you know, and he just starts like schooling me like he's my father and is like, hey, you know, I don't know how old you are, but you're too young to be out this late. You're too young to be at parties if there was a house party there or whatever. And I was like, oh, we went to this club. And he's like, no, you shouldn't be out at the clubs. You shouldn't be at these things. I'm going to take you home. And like, I never want to see you out at these things until you're old enough. And I've never seen him again. He saved my life. He schooled the shit out of me, scared me to death into being at clubs. Because I'm like, oh, I'll never be at a club again. You know, like,
because he told you all these crazy things that could potentially happen. He really fathered you. And how
dangerous it was. Yeah. He fully fathered me. And I have never forgot that. And it was so crazy. I've been like hoping that like maybe we'd have our paths would cross and we'd do a talk show or something on the same circuit, and I could just be like, hey, you probably don't remember this, but I was that teenage girl like in New York that you took to a cafe to like tell me that like my life better be on track. And I'm like, this is my first time at a nightclub. Like,
and that's what happens. Yeah.
He probably wouldn't have even.
So that is the gist of the video. I know it ran a little long, but I wanted her to really share the story, just so y'all know this, because I know people are gonna see the title of this video and they're gonna run to the comment section and they're gonna say things and try to or create their own narratives and theories out of their own mind. This is why, again, I say you can't be throwing dirt on people's names when they're out here saving people, literally saving people. I think that this vindicates, and it really does. It really does. It shows that when you had J-Lo, and again, I listen, every chance I get to expose that heifer for what she tried to imply when there are plenty of weirdos and perverts out there that she probably knows and that she's probably cool with, and she would never throw them under the bus. But the one person that she did try to throw under the bus, Wesley Snipes, got a huge cosign from one of the most viral women on the internet. Whether, you know, y'all like her or not, that's not why I'm making this video. You know, the worst person, you ever see that meme? The worst person you know just said something good or interesting, however that meme goes. Even though I have nothing against her, I just think that, you know, she is the face of cosmetic surgery in America. There's a lot of women who look up to her and went and got cosmetic surgeries to look like her, to emulate her look. And that is not good. But I can also point out when she tells this, you know, this is a story that young girls need to hear, because there's a lot of young girls, 17, 18, 19, who are trying to pass as grown ups, who want to go to parties and they want to be around grown men, right? A lot of that's going on, by the way. A lot of that's going on. And this is a cautionary tale. And for her to say this, more young women should hear this. More young women should hear the cautionary tale of going to these cities and partying with women. By the way, she was there with a group of girls, but where were those girls at? You know where those girls are at? They were somewhere with some guy, and they basically left her hanging. Very much so a cautionary tale. We've seen stories like this go horribly wrong. We've seen stories like this go horribly wrong. But in this situation, it didn't, and it was because Wesley was a stand-up guy and helped her when she needed the most. So hopefully with her platform, she is able to speak on this and really warn these young women, because a lot of these young girls think they're grown. Now, again, if they're over the age 18, they are. But you got 16 to 17-year-olds out here going to grown clubs. It's happening. Y'all don't want to hear this. You got girls 16, 17 going to adult clubs. That's been going on a lot over the decades. We've seen TV shows where girls will talk about having fake IDs, or dudes talk about teenagers having fake IDs to get into adult clubs. This stuff goes on. And what Kim needs to do, and that's why I'm doing this video, to speak on this and bring awareness to this story that went completely under the radar, is talk about how these young women need to be more careful of their surroundings, because we've seen the stories. We've seen horrible stories of what happens when these young girls are out here by themselves, right? So let me know in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. Like this video and share it. Follow me on all my social media platforms, and I will see y'all next one.